on in just another minute. I should have a few more people joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube live, thank you. Thanks for coming. Happy to have you on that platform. Otherwise, if you were registered through our website and are a part of our community, we are happy that you are here. We'll just jump right on in, if that's okay. Welcome again, everyone. My name is Sarah Dewar. I am a program manager here at Forté. I am excited today to talk to you a little bit about the MBA, the impact it could make for you in your career, some resources we have to help you through that process and support you along the way, and just in general, kind of talk about where you are in the process. Maybe you're super MBA curious. Maybe you are just starting the MBA journey and realizing what it can do or what the impact is going to be. Maybe you're just at a point where you're like, gosh, I need a little more for my career. I don't know what that means, but maybe it is an MBA. So whether you have it figured out or you don't, happy to get started with you today. And again, I want to welcome you to our Forté community and programming that we offer. If you are new here to Forté, welcome to our community. If you are a returning member, thank you so much for coming back and welcome back. Just a quick update for you all on overview of who Forté is. Forté is really fueling the future of business, doing some really important work to close the gap between gender within the business school or MBA classroom. We are supporting individuals at undergraduate level, graduate level, and a professional level via access to resources and education about opportunities. We are providing financial support via our fellowship to our current MBA students, and then continued networking and professional development and career access to any individuals within our organization. I mentioned we do this through our partners. So on a school side, our member schools, we have over 60 full-time MBA program partners, over 41 executive and professional MBA partners, and 20 of those schools are not in the US. So we're looking at Canadian schools, European schools, and schools located in the UK that are also there to serve you, depending on what your goals are and what you're hoping to achieve with an MBA. I do want to let you know that similar to today's event, there are always events happening in our MBA prep stage for folks that are here at this audience level. We did have a session just earlier this week on application strategies for final deadlines. So if you are currently in the process of applying to business school, or you are hoping to apply within the next couple of weeks to get started in fall of 2026, you'll definitely want to check that out. I'm trying to pull the link for you all so that you can watch it on YouTube. Let me drop this in the chat here. Again, if you maybe missed Tuesday's or Wednesday's session this week on tips for final deadlines, you are welcome to check it out there on our YouTube channel. We do have several upcoming sessions that might be applicable to you. If you're exploring program options, MBA Your Way, program options for working professionals, maybe you're looking to explore some of those non-US based partner schools that we have, you can certainly join that session coming up in April. And then again, May 13th, how an MBA can change everything. So if you are here at the early stages, let's figure out a little bit of some things to kind of think about at this stage, and then we'll help you kind of progress through the process there. You're welcome to scan that link, join any of those sessions live as you have today, or they are always streamed available on our YouTube channel. I do also want to invite you to our virtual Forté Forum on April 9th. This is an event open to anyone who is, again, maybe considering an MBA. Perhaps you are just now hearing it, you're just dipping your toe in to explore the options, or maybe you have already applied and you're looking just to still continue that school research, or wherever you are within that spectrum. The forum is going to be a great opportunity for you to connect with our member schools, to explore the options, to really understand the Forté community and the support that it provides to you, as well as experience and again, gain an understanding of the value of an MBA. This will include our program partners at all levels. So regardless if you're looking at full-time, part-time, executive MBA programs, or you're not quite sure yet, this event will give you the option to learn about all of those various options. And then one of our favorite, my favorite, and I am biased as the program manager for MBA Launch, we do also offer a flagship application prep program to individuals that are applying in a future application cycle. And so again, this is application prep. We hold you accountable to an application timeline, really exploring each of the application components. You are going through this timeline and this cohort-based program with a community of hundreds of others who are in the same situation, looking to, continue building their career. They are working full-time, but also managing test prep and school selection and MBA applications. So within that program, there is hours and hours of expert advice from industry consultants, admissions committee members. You do get discounts on any partner services if you're interested. And then oftentimes schools will waive the application fee for our launchers who complete the program in an upcoming cycle. So as I continue through today's presentation, I do want to invite you to use the Q&A feature. I will try to keep an eye on that throughout the presentation, but I certainly should have some time for some questions at the end of our presentation. But we'll just go ahead and jump on in. Again, today's session is MBA, maybe. Let's kind of explore if that's right for you. So if you are early in this process, or maybe you're not super familiar with an MBA and what it can provide, maybe nobody in your organization looks like you in a leadership position, or nobody in your network has achieved an MBA, or maybe you're already in a non-business background and you're like, oh, what does this mean? What is this all about? And so quickly, I just want to kind of cover a few main points of what an MBA can do for you. Certainly the network is probably the largest, anecdotally, the most important part of an MBA program. And so it is going to give you a chance to really explore, not only build your network with your peers, but faculty members who often in MBA are industry professionals. They're retired as experts or CEOs or CFOs or, XYZ positions, and they're there to share their lived and learned experiences with you. Definitely the alums of the program. You can check out a lot of programs similar to your undergrad alumni network. There's huge alumni networks that are so beneficial to you as you consider an MBA and what your future career looks like. Career impact is also another reason for individuals getting to an MBA. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into this later, but perhaps you are looking for a change and this is something that you're ready to take your career to the next level. Maybe you feel like you've hit the limit where you are, you need something else, you want something else, the major you picked or the job you picked straight out of undergrad. Turns out that it's not really what you thought it was going to be or what you really want to be doing for the rest of your life. And so you're really looking to kind of make a change in one way or another to your career. The return on investment is a really big part of the MBA as well. Not only are you going to be, in some cases putting your career on pause and your income on pause to pursue a full-time MBA program, but you are also going to be dedicating your time, your energy, your effort, some other life things as you kind of go back to school and sit back in the classroom. And so the big thing with the return on investment, you can see there is obviously the salary, and we'll talk a little bit more about this as we continue through the presentation. But the data point that's there, I believe, is the starting salary for the top 50 business schools in the US. If I can add another kind of carrot there, going down to top 10 business schools in the US, I believe it's closer to the 150 to 180 range. And then oftentimes with your post-MBA career or the job you're looking to get right after, there can be an average starting bonus upwards of $30,000 as well. So right there, kind of looking at what that means for your career. Oftentimes it's 55 to 65% increase on what your pre-MBA salary is. And so not only does that change right then and there, but your total earning growth and earning potential over a lifetime can be dramatically impacted by an MBA. And then business and management fundamental skills. So of course, you're going back to get an MBA, you will be in a classroom, you will be learning things via education, maybe textbooks, maybe case studies, what have you, but you are going to leave there with that terminal degree, that general foundation of all business functional areas. Perhaps you might choose a specific area to kind of target, or you're interested in going into a specific functional area, and that's okay. But generally, you are going to come out more of an expert across the boards, a generalist of MBA and leadership practices with an MBA. This here is just some data pulled from GMAT. If you're not familiar, they are the maker of the GMAT exam, as well as the executive assessment exam, two kind of common standardized tests within the MBA world. In general, and maybe you've talked to MBA alums before, people that are in their MBA program or have an MBA love to talk about their MBA, and you might get to that point as well. But for now, it's generally over a 90% recommendation or referral rate from people who have graduated from an MBA that are talking about the benefits and what they've gained from the MBA, and really encouraging you to do that. And so it's kind of this idea of, and maybe you're familiar in your current organization or as an undergraduate student, or through this application process already, kind of folks are willing to lift while they climb. And so we find that the same thing is true for MBA alums at our partner schools. And in general, they want you to succeed and have the same opportunities that they have. So here are just a few kind of impacts, if you will, that alums have reported from their MBA or as a result of their MBA. Certainly the employability, you have that credential, so you are opening the door to more opportunities. You will be within an elite group of folks that have that specific credential that may be required. And so you are kind of removing the opportunity for a future employer to say, nope, you're not qualified, because you will have those qualifications. We talked a little bit about the earning power and your earning potential year over year, and just thinking now, what a 55% increase in your salary would look like 10 years from now, or where that will get you 10 years from now, as compared to, the kind of annual merit raises that you may or may not be getting right now. Leadership positions, certainly, I mentioned you are going to be kind of the leader. You will learn all of the management and leadership fundamentals throughout an MBA program. That MBA, those credentials really is going to signify your skills and your knowledge in that level. So whether you are looking to manage a team, manage a department, manage a whole organization, certainly those opportunities are going to be there. We talked a little bit about your network being built in, almost given when you enroll in an MBA program, and just really thinking of what your network looks like now. I think sometimes people kind of steer away from networking because it is maybe something that makes you uncomfortable, and you think it has to be kind of gimmicky and chit-chatty with other people. But there is a lot to be said for expanding your professional network of individuals from all different educational backgrounds, all different professional experiences, all different lived experiences, different locations around the world, kind of coming together to learn things in the same realm and learn from each other. Definitely, you'll have people in your class that are coming from an organization that you aspire to be at, and vice versa. Maybe you're at an organization others are looking to get at. So that professional network is tenfold and will be extremely impactful to you. Quicker career advancement, obviously, this is a big part, and we'll talk a little bit more about this as we continue through today's presentation. But if you're thinking now, okay, on this path that I'm on, in 5 years I'll be at this position, in 10 years I'll be at this position, you might take a look at some MBA resources and think, okay, 10 years to get to one position, or taking a pause, investing in myself, going to school for 2 years to get that job post MBA, or to land that job, within a year or two after MBA, definitely can help with that career advancement. And then again, the job security, you have the credentials to keep you in that role. You have the leadership and the skills, the knowledge to kind of keep you in that role, make you more versatile and impactful, positively impactful for an organization. And then you have an endless network. If you do fall on hard times, you have lots of people there to help you kind of connect you where you want to go and get you back into the game of employability. This here is just a quick kind of a list of the industries, top industries. This is in ascending order. So if you're looking at the bottom four there, consulting, finance, tech, and healthcare, generally those are pretty steady as the top four-ish of post-MBA industries. But I just want to kind of put a little asterisk here that if an industry you're interested in is not listed here, that's okay. These are not the only places you can go post-MBA, but perhaps these are some of your dream opportunities, or, oftentimes people don't really think of an MBA to get into energy or real estate or even media and entertainment, but it can open lots of doors for you as you continue in your career and thinking about what your future might look like. So now let's talk a little bit about you and kind of where you are in your life, in your career at this particular time. So maybe you want to change. We talked about this a bit. Maybe that major you picked is just not it. The role you dreamed about having, that you loved as an intern, now you're in it and you're like, ooh, okay, another 25 years of this? I don't think so. So let's start thinking about what that might look like. Maybe it's a small change to a similar role in a different organization. Maybe it is a change to a different industry, or maybe you're like, I'm buried in the snow. I'm here in Ohio. I can say this week we have had snow and we are 75 today. Maybe I just am sick of that and I want a location change. I want sunshine all the time. Now is the time to do that. So whether, again, you're looking to change your industry, your functional area, your organization, your trajectory, your physical location, your earning potential, what have you, definitely if you're wanting change, an MBA is a way to help you get there. Maybe you're wanting to grow. This could be you love your job, you love your industry, you love your organization. You just kind of have hit a plateau of where you can go. You've been promoted X number of times in 5 years and there's nowhere else to go. Everyone in the next scheduled position for you has an MBA or has that additional credential that you don't quite have. So if you're looking, again, we talked about career acceleration. We talked about moving into a leadership position. The potential for leadership growth via an MBA is huge. And then growing your salary and, again, your financial earnings is another thing. Or maybe you're like, you know what? I have 5 years of experience working at this corporation for these people, and this is not it. I want to be my own boss. I have this idea that's going to change the world and I'm going to go after it. Maybe you're looking to be an entrepreneur, or your small passion project, or what you thought was a passion project or just a side gig has turned into something so much more impactful for you. And you're looking to just fully commit to that and change the future of that passion project, make it your lifestyle. An MBA can do that as well. We talked a little bit about the network. An MBA is a great place to meet your future business partners, if that's what you're looking for, right? Individuals like yourself who are used to being top achievers academically, professionally, who are go-getters, who have that drive and that motivation moving forward. And so an MBA is the place to find others like yourself. When it comes to an MBA, there's a lot of decisions to make, right? When you decide, okay, I think I want an MBA, different things and lots to consider within the the school selection process. And this might depend on where you are, whether you are looking to be a career changer or maybe just an accelerator. If you are looking to change careers or totally pivot industries, you might be looking more favorable at the experiential opportunities. Are there internship opportunities? Can you gain experience related to your post-MBA goals as you go through the program? Maybe your undergraduate experience, you were one of many at a very, very large school and that worked for you and you want that again, or perhaps that didn't work for you and you would rather get to know your faculty members on a name-to-name basis, to understand them, to know your classmates, to really take full advantage of the network. You might think a little bit differently about the cohort size. We talked about location, the cost, the return on investment, the scholarships that are available, again, kind of who those faculty members are that are teaching those classes. Did they come from the industry that you are interested in? Are there going to be electives or courses available that are going to help you reach your goals? And then naturally, rankings, reputation, and the brand of the institution will be a part of your consideration or your selection. I would caution you that maybe shouldn't be the end all be all, but it's a good starting point for you as you kind of figure out what schools to explore, what you're looking for, what you want your ideal MBA experience to look like. Outside of that, it can also depend on the program format. Perhaps you're like hearing me say, put your job on pause, give up your income for a couple of years. And you're like, heck no, I cannot do that. I have kids and a family and other people that depend on me. And so maybe a full-time program is not necessarily the right fit for you, but you certainly want to continue in your career and with your education, and maybe evenings and weekends or once a month in person is somewhere that you are happy to do that. Definitely different formats in terms of professional and part-time programs or executive programs. There are oftentimes more accelerated or one-year programs, typically most common outside of the US with some of those non-US business partners, but maybe that's a possibility for you as well. And so there's a lot to consider as you kind of go into this. So I want to jump into now what. We've talked a little bit about things to explore, what the MBA can do to you, maybe where you are in your career or what you're hoping to get out of your career. So I'm going to encourage you to start with why. Oftentimes it's said this MBA process or application process requires a little bit of soul searching. And although that sounds a little weird, I don't disagree with that. Okay. So you need to really figure out what it is that you want and why you're at this stage. Is it a career change? Is it a pivot? Is it just one simple thing that's missing? Is there bigger dreams and goals that you have moving forward that require something large, a large investment in yourself to upskill to help you get there? Again, this comes down to kind of personal and professional goals. Certainly, your career and your career outlook, what you're hoping to do is very important in this process, but also for you as well, to really think about kind of what you want from the experience, where you want this, what kind of people you want to be with, what opportunities, how it's going to impact you. All of those things are going to be really, really important to you. Next, I would say is understanding the MBA timeline. One thing that kind of trips people up quite a bit is the difference in what that timeline might look like. And so I did a session not long ago on MBA application timeline and strategies. And so I want to share a link to that, so that you all can take a look at that as an additional resource if you want. So this is the application timeline. Again, a previous session. Keep it on in the background, kind of listen to it podcast style if you wish. But generally, the MBA application timeline, if you're looking at a full-time program, if you are wanting to start this fall, like August 2026, you have final deadlines coming up real quick here on you. Generally, if you are looking to apply in a future application cycle, the application opens kind of in the fall. So August, September will be round one deadlines. If we think of this upcoming year, August, September of 2026, you will be applying to start your MBA in 2027 to be a member of the class of 2029. So it is kind of a longer process, something to think about. And I mentioned before, not only investment of your time and your energy and your money, but certainly a time investment as well, even the application process. So understand that MBA timeline, how it aligns with where you are and what your goals are. And then next would be kind of jumping in and getting started on the process. I do have standardized tests meant to be much smaller here at the bottom. This is something that I just want you to be aware of. It doesn't need to be front of your brain, front of your mind right yet, but it is one of the things that in the application process that does take the longest time in terms of prep, in terms of determining which test is best for you, what the school's expecting in terms of your data point. This is my one kind of caveat to this is It is just a test score. You will learn that the application process is very holistic and you are so much more than that test score, but it is a component within the application that oftentimes trips people up because it has been how many years since you've taken a standardized test, right? And kind of getting back into the study habits and the self-discipline and time management while you're managing your job and a million other things going on can be quite challenging. So here is my kind of heads up. Don't jump on it necessarily yet, but definitely something to make sure you're keeping in the back of your mind as something that you will eventually have to tackle in this process. Here are just some general resources for you to use or our recommendations. Your current network, maybe you are at your organization an employee resource group, or there's an opportunity for mentorship within like a professional affiliation group in your local community. Talk to people that have the MBA. Talk to people in positions that you hope to see yourself in. If they have an MBA, great. Talk to them about that. If they don't, ask if they think maybe it could have changed their path. Could they have gotten there quicker? A lot of people are familiar with MBA, especially as they progress to leadership. If they don't have it, they probably have faced the decision, do I need it? Do I not? Should I do it? Should I not? At some point. So talk to those people in your current network. I think you'll be surprised. I mentioned already, people that have an MBA love to talk about their MBA experience. So see if you can maybe take someone out for coffee, kind of pick their brain a little bit, talk about what it is you're hoping to do, where you're hoping to go, and have those informal, fun conversations. The exploratory aspect of an MBA it can be really joyful. And I hope that you lean into that. Our website, of course, has lots and lots of resources available for you, as well as our YouTube channel. I've dropped 2 links to 2 different two different sessions that we've done that are live streamed. There are hours and hours and hours of content available on our YouTube channel. So any of our, MBA prep sessions that we've held over the last couple of years, those are all available to you, as well as some upcoming sessions that I'll revisit again in a minute. MBA.com is a great resource. School-specific websites. If you've identified a couple schools that you're interested in and you're thinking, gosh, maybe I should learn a little bit more about these types of schools, you certainly can do that. I'm going to drop a list of our member schools here in case you wish to explore different schools that partner with Forté. So mission-aligned partners, they can offer the Forté Fellowship to individuals. There are several exploration and networking events. Again, I'll put the slide up for our forum in just a moment if you want to register and take advantage of that. Current students and alums, and then school events and presentations are all going to be really helpful ways for you to understand what the career options are at specific schools, what the experience is going to be, what it takes to get in, what they're looking for in an ideal candidate, all of that. It's no secret when it comes to MBA applications. It can be overwhelming. It can be pretty daunting, but schools are not trying to trick you by any means. It definitely can be very competitive for admissions and scholarships, but information is out there. It just takes a little bit of research, and hopefully that's the same amount of research and work you would put into any type of large investment that you might be considering. So real quick, here are our MBA prep events. Again, I mentioned the application strategies for final deadlines was earlier this week. That link is available, or the video is streamed on YouTube. If you're like, oh, Sarah, I already have my test score. I already know what schools. I've already done this reflective work. I know what my goals are. I know what I'm doing. I just need to get my application together, and I am starting this fall. Period. That's going to be the one for the session for you to take a look at. I would suggest sooner rather than later. Almost as soon as our session is over, jump to that session, because final deadlines are coming. And again, you can imagine, I talked a little bit about the application timeline already. Applications for folks to start this fall opened last August. So people have been admitted, confirming their seat already, kind of building that class. And so the closer we get to the August start term or fall start term, probably a little bit more competitive, the smaller the seats might be. So don't hold out, don't delay, apply as soon as possible if your timeline really is this August. Again, a few other sessions there if you wish to join us in the future. Definitely the MBA forum on April 9th. Like I said, it'll be pretty exploratory. There will be different admissions panels, regardless of format. So there will be one where you'll hear from admissions committee members of full-time programs, part-time programs, executive programs. You will hear school-specific presentations from some of our partner schools across all of those formats as well. GMAT's going to be there to talk a little bit about their exam and how to prepare, what to expect. And then I believe we'll also have Juno, one of our other organization-wide partners there that is really aligned with us in terms of making the MBA a financial reality for folks. So hopefully you can join us there and learn lots of information and continue exploring not just the value of an MBA, but what Forté as a community can do for you. Let me take a look at the questions here. I think I saw one or two come in. And then we'll kind of move on a bit. Let's see here. Is it common to get full scholarships for professionals seeking MBA? Lily, this is a great question. It really depends on the program format. Now, I'm not entirely sure, so forgive me here. I'm going to kind of cover both angles of this question as I understand it. For professionals seeking an MBA, ideally, anyone seeking an MBA will be a professional. Even full-time programs are expecting you to have 3 to 5, 7-ish years of professional work experience. And so if you are a current professional looking to go into a full-time MBA program, full scholarships are more common in full-time MBA programs. Part-time programs, executive programs, there are funding options available. The biggest difference is going to be that in a full-time program, you are expected to kind of put your earning income on pause. And so the AdComs kind of know that you are making an investment, and then they are willing to make an investment in you as terms of merit funding as well. In part-time and professional programs, because the expectation there is that you are working still full-time while going to school on a part-time basis, that you are still earning that income. So again, not often to get full scholarships, but definitely scholarships are available. My best approach and suggestion when it comes to funding is to speak with each individual school themselves, because each school will have their own policy. Some schools are merit-based, meaning they are going to evaluate you and award you based on how competitive your application is amongst the larger application pool, versus some other schools are need-based, which maybe you are a working professional in a non-traditional industry or career functional area that typically isn't a top income earner, or one that, you know, makes for super, super high incomes. And that might be okay. There's no right or wrong heading into an MBA of where you should be or what your career, your income should be, but it could depend on the school itself when it comes to funding. I hope that answers your question. Oh my gosh. Alondra, great question. Perfect transition. So for everyone that's here, the question came in: if we're hoping to start our MBA in 2027, should we sign up now for the MBA launch, or is it recommended to wait until closer to the date? Great question. I'm going to jump right on in. That's where we're coming up to next, if that's okay. If you are looking to apply, this should say apply in fall 2026 and start in 2027. Launch is going to be for you. We want to help you build your best application. So Alondra, I think this is what aligns with your timeline. You will be applying fall 2026 to start in 2027. I would love to introduce you to MBALaunch. This is an application prep program I briefly mentioned, flagship program on our team. Again, I am biased. I, for the last 5 years, had the honor, absolute honor, to manage this cohort-based program, helping thousands of women receive their MBA or receive acceptance to MBA programs. So application prep program, we are providing that accountability and that community for you, keeping you on track as it aligns with the application components, the application timelines, holding you accountable to that test that is pretty pesky and daunting in the application process. There will be hundreds of individuals going through this process at the same time as you. And then I mentioned each week in those weekly sessions, you hear from admissions consultants, industry experts, or admissions committee members. Some of them offer additional services to you all as an enrolled launcher at a very steep discounted price. So just a few things to kind of think about there. If you are enrolled in Launch, certainly we have goals for you. And again, would love to help you reach those goals. Ultimate goal of getting into an MBA and making that a reality for you. But what the launch program is going to do is help you build confidence in your story, your unique story. So schools are looking for unique individuals. They do not want folks all coming from Wall Street. They do not want everyone coming from a consulting background. They do not want everyone coming from different backgrounds hoping to be consultants post MBA, right? They are interested in you as a unique candidate and how you got to where you are and what your goals are moving forward. So your unique story and building confidence in that. Getting your best application, telling your story the best way, making sure that you are a strong applicant for the schools you're applying to, whether that be your test score or your specific data points through GPA. Maybe it is your best application because you're able to clearly articulate that you've done the research. That is the program for you because of this class or this faculty member or this organization. Whatever it is, we're going to help you strategically kind of put that together in one fell swoop package for you to submit to the schools. The supportive community there of myself, the team that I am on here at Forté. We have thousands of others who've done this program before you that are currently in MBA programs, and someone, kind of helped them lift while they climbed, and they are here to kind of pay it back to you. So we'll do a lot on finding your business school fit as it works for you personally and professionally, what your goals are, and then naturally helping you to propel forward. So this is just kind of a quick snapshot or overview of what our curriculum looks like. We did start the process in February here, but we are still having folks join our program and still opportunities to catch up. So don't look at this and think, gosh, in February, it's not February anymore, so I missed the personal storytelling. I missed the personal branding and the self-reflection. We're doing that throughout the whole program, and there are still opportunities upcoming for you all to take advantage of that. March through May, those admissions insights kind of peek behind the curtain. What are AdComs hoping to see? How do you engage with them throughout this process as a pre-applicant? What can you expect once you're an applicant in terms of communicating with schools and engaging with the schools? If you think something is a weakness in your application, how do you navigate that in the application process without, raising a red flag to it because someone else might not identify it as a weakness? But how do you build confidence in your story around that and submitting a strong application? We're going to continue breaking down each of the application components, really kind of doing deep dive into what the essays are really asking you. You might look at 3 different essays and think, gosh, these all sound the same, but really schools are looking for specific things with their essay questions. We're going to help you identify who you should ask to be your reference, what information you should give them ahead of time. How do you best prepare them to write you a good letter of recommendation? We will have resume workshop. We're going to talk a lot about kind of that career game plan. So ideally you are here 5-10 years from now, you're here, but what does that post MBA kind of internship or right after MBA job look like that will be kind of that stepping stone to help get you there? And are you aware of that? Do you have flexibility in that plan? Have you thought about that plan? Those are all big things that AdComs are looking for in your application. So we'll kind of work you through that. Certainly, again, connecting with schools throughout the entire journey. If you have a test already, that's great. It is not required. We do offer test prep services within our program. And then certainly financing your MBA, whether that be through the Forté Fellowship, budgeting starting now, understanding what the total cost of attendance is, really understanding the scholarship process of each of the schools on your list and moving forward through that. These are some of our 2026 partners. So these are the industry experts or the consultants that you will hear from on a weekly basis within the MBALaunch program. These are also the folks that offer discounts. So you see several test prep resources there. Steep discounts. Manhattan Prep, I want to say, offers our launchers 25% off of their 8 to 9 week prep courses. Target Test Prep offers a launch specific 6-month and 12-month kind of self-paced discounted package. Engage Prep. She offers amazing resources to our launchers. If you don't know which test is right, there is a fundamentals course that's free for our launchers that is typically about $4.99 for non-launch participants. Launch participants, you can find that on her website if you're interested. But she also offers discounts on launch exclusive test prep classes, structured classes, as well as tutoring. So GMAC, the owner and creator of the GMAT exam, as well as executive assessment, also offers a discount on their official test prep resources. Some of the others that you see here are actual admissions consultants that might offer, 6 application packages to you, or some of them have a more kind of a la carte. If you want one resume review or one essay review, you have the options to gain those at discounts outside of kind of what the program is already providing for you all. So talking a little bit more about this 2026 cohort. Good questions are coming in. I'm going to go ahead and save some of those for the end. I'm almost through with my slides here, so hopefully we can then get to those. But keep the questions coming, please, please, please. So our MBA launch program is the application prep program. So it's ideal for you to do this now if you are applying in a future application cycle. Our program does have an application fee. Currently, we are waiving that using promo code LAUNCH35, all caps. It'll waive the $35 for you. Please use the code at checkout before you submit any credit card information. I am not able to do a refund, so you're certainly welcome to pay the $35 fee if you want. But if you don't want to and you'd like to save some money, use that LAUNCH35 code at checkout for your MBA launch application. If you are admitted, there is a $750 enrollment fee. This, again, is highly subsidized based on our partners, the content you will get, access you get to all of our schools, and then can easily be made up with a great return through those test prep resources, discounts, and those fee waivers that are offered by our partner schools. I mentioned earlier the program started in February, so you will get started immediately. It's really important that you apply. We are at the end of our cycle of letting folks into the program in terms of number of seats available. So apply. I'll cover this in a minute on the next slide, what our deadlines are, but it's literally now or never for this application cycle. So here's our MBA launch application, much different from an MBA school application, right? You're going to join us in launch so we can help prepare you for those other applications. Our application should take no more than an hour. Seriously, take it serious and, pay attention to the details, but don't spend more than an hour on it. We don't expect you to be MBA application ready as you join an MBA prep program. Okay. So we know that you are coming to us and you want to work with us. You are open to the coaching, open to the growth that will take place in the launch program to help you get MBA application ready. We don't expect it at this point. So in general, we're looking for some information from you. It's a form. You're going to fill it out. You're going to tell us where you live, where you work, where you went to school, self-report your undergraduate GPA. You're going to tell us where you, if you have a test score, you're going to self-report that to us. It's not required for the application, as I mentioned before, so don't worry about that. Anything you share in your application stays with us internally. This is just our check to ensure that we are bringing folks into an application prep program that have the credentials or the potential to be what the schools want from MBA candidates, right? In terms of, you have the number of years of work experience, you have the academic aptitude from what we can tell from your self-reported GPA, you have career progression, you've thought about what an MBA is and why, it's going to help you in your career. We are asking for your LinkedIn URL in the application as a requirement. So it'll just be a form and your LinkedIn URL. There is a spot you'll see for an optional essay as well as your professional resume via URL. Like if you have it in a Google Doc or something like that, you can share that with us as well. Maybe that gives a little bit more context to what your LinkedIn does and you want to make sure that we have that. That's totally fine as well. That is optional. The essay or the resume link is optional. The essay is also optional, a written essay or a video essay. With this, we are hoping to gain an understanding of why you're looking to pursue an MBA, kind of what those goals are, an understanding that you know what launch is about and how it can be beneficial to you, that you're looking for some of that accountability in that community, what that would mean to you through this process, and then a little indication of your Forté alignment to our mission of more women leading. Again, that is optional through this process, not required. You will not be penalized if you do not submit it. It gives us additional context into who you are, but again, totally your call. Hopefully you've thought about those things, at least if you're here, and maybe it won't take you too long to put them down on paper. So when I say, sorry, I'm looking at the questions a little bit. Oh no, we're good. Okay. When I say it's now or never, this is what I mean. The absolute final application deadline is March 23rd. The application will be closed after that deadline. So with that, we will evaluate and have decisions to you maybe on the 23rd, hopefully the 24th, but by end of day on the 25th nonetheless. So if you are applying now, be on the lookout and be ready to take action quick once you get that admit for us, because the deadline to enroll is going to be the 26th, next Thursday. So 6 days from today. It's going to be a quick process. And the reason for that is we do have a kickoff session on Friday, March 27th. For anyone who has started beyond that February date, or even anyone who started in February who maybe needs a little more assistance kind of getting their feet on the ground and getting their feet going underneath them. So we'll talk like how to catch up, what your checklist is. Consider this kickoff session next Friday an onboarding call that we hope you will be able to join us for. That is something you will get registered for. You will have access to all of the things in the learning management system and so forth once we receive your enrollment fee, which you can do within seconds after receiving your positive admit notice from us. Again, quick snapshot here. So there is a $35 application fee to our launch program. You can waive that. That fee is good through our final deadline on Monday. So make sure that you are taking advantage of that. The program enrollment is going to end next week. This is your last chance, folks. I am not trying to scare you or create urgency, but this is it. The program will run through September of 2026. I've mentioned a few times here, you are not required to have a test score as you join our program, but it is required that you have a test score to us by July 1st. This does not have to be the score you use in your applications. It has to be a valid official test score. So most of the time, it's our first attempt. Launchers will take the test twice in most cases, depending on the prep, depending on where you are. But we, again, don't share that score out. So it doesn't have to be the score that you put in your applications. We just need to have an official test score. This is part of the accountability here, kind of what you're signing up for when it comes to application prep. Without a test score, probably going to have some trouble meeting some MBA application deadlines. So we're just trying to hold your feet to the fire to get that score. And when you submit it to us by July, that gives you time to reevaluate. Okay, do I need to adjust my prep? Do I need to get myself in gear to get a more competitive score? Do I need to adjust my school list? There's schools that I thought were safety schools. Are they now reach schools because of the score that I achieved? Or is it vice versa? Schools that you thought were aspirational schools or reach schools now become safety because you have a data point that kind of falls within their range. Again, all of those things are kind of fluid at this point, and having a test due to us or an idea of where you'll fall with your test by July gives us time to work through that continued process with you. I've dangled fee waivers a couple of times. If you're not familiar, a lot of programs have an application fee that, you go to their website, you work to submit an application, it's $250, $300, what have you, it varies. Within our program, you will have access to application fees from some of our select partner schools who offer them to folks who complete all of the requirements. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to join Launch right now because I'm going to get the waivers for these final deadlines, the applications are valid for an upcoming application cycle. And as a live launcher, you get them for 2 cycles. So kind of keep that in mind. I do want to move over to the questions now, but before I get there, I want to remind you that if you have questions, you can reach out to us pre-MBA at fortefoundation.org. I also am going to drop my link. If you wish to schedule a one-on-one call with me, I would love to chat. More than happy to chat with you all about kind of where you are, what your timeline looks like. If you're wondering if launch is right for you, let's chat sooner rather than later. If you are like, MBA launch is it, Sarah, great job. You've convinced me. I want the prep. I want to join you starting next week. There is a link for you to get to the application and apply right away. So let me go ahead and jump to the questions. Excuse me. Oh, y'all can't see my screen? Can you see my screen now? I hope. Oh no. Okay, well, I will wait to see if anybody else comes in on that and lets me know. There is a question in here about, do employers prefer full-time in-person MBA graduates rather than individuals that attend weekend or part-time programs? That's a great question. Typically employers don't care because the credential you get is an MBA, and like your transcripts or your diploma or your, it's not going to say that you are a full-time MBA student. Now, will recruiters know or be able to assume based on your resume and your work history, and if there is a break or if you have a quick internship listed? Yes, but generally they do not care. It could be a question that you can check with the schools themselves, talk to the individuals within those roles, or talk to recruiters at the organizations you're interested in getting to. They might have a little bit more context for you, but generally we see no difference in preference from the employers. Oh no, you see the slide with the virtual forum? What about now? Are you seeing all my slides? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. I can send this deck out for you as well. Or if you have questions and you want to jump on my calendar, we can definitely kind of talk through it. When looking at the rankings of institutions, what sources are best to consider? Anonymous, good question. There are lots of resources. You mentioned US News, you mentioned Forbes. There's lots of things out there. Just I would caution you to understand what data or algorithm they are using to compute that those rankings. And again, certainly using the rankings, they mean something, but you should be thinking a little bit more about what you want as an individual through the MBA process. And if you will get those things at some top ranked institutions. You absolutely might. It might be the vibe, it might be the right type of people for you, it might be the right level of engagement, it might be the right community, any of those things. But make sure that you're kind of checking out all aspects and not just using the rankings as your end all be all. And then cross-reference. Again, Anonymous, you mentioned US News and World, Forbes, there's all different kinds of ranking systems out there. Again, make sure that you are understanding how they are collecting their data and how they are coming up with that ranking system. Some of them have a very unbiased, very systematic ranking system where they collect information from schools and go forth. Others might include opinions from alums or the public or XYZ that may or may not be founded. And so that might be influencing the rankings as well. So just be mindful, do your research, use critical thinking skills when you're looking at those rankings and reputations. I have a question. Where's Forté MBA start? Is it in September? So I'm not really sure. If you want to provide additional clarification, let me know. But Forté itself is not an MBA program. Forté is an organization that provides support via our network to individuals who are exploring an MBA, to individuals who are currently in an MBA program, and to individuals who are graduates or alums of MBA programs. And so most of our partners or members will have MBA programs that do start in the fall. Typically, that's pretty cyclical especially for full-time programs. They usually do start in the fall. Some have a January intake. If you're looking at a part-time or executive program, those generally can run several different intakes. So there might be a fall, spring, and a summer. So check the individual schools that you are looking at, and then again, be aware of what the application timeline and their deadlines might look like. Chances are the application process itself, from the time you apply, get a decision, and actually start, is a little bit longer than you think. So just make sure that you are planning accordingly. All right. It's looking like y'all can't see my slide, so I apologize for that glitch. What I will do is, for anyone who is registered today, I will go ahead and send out the deck as well as the link. I would imagine if you all are not seeing the moving slides, that maybe on the recording it won't be either, but I'll send it over to you. And if there's something else that you need, like I said, you have my link, you can go ahead and book with me individually. But again, I would love to take last call for any questions, if you will. Anyone related to anything else? MBA, is it right for you? What have you? If not, I'm going to go ahead and let me try this again here. I'm going to jump to, you can see my screen, I believe. This is just kind of the quick overview of the program and the fees associated with it. Here's the application timeline or application components for our MBALaunch application. This is our actual application timeline. So I want to reiterate that Monday is our final deadline. You are at the end of the wire when it comes to joining MBALaunch Prep or getting this help from us if you wish to get it in a live cohort-based program. You will need to enroll. We will kick off officially and do some onboarding calls and checklist information starting next week. So be sure that you are prepared for that. Quick overview again, Launch 35 is the promo code to get you save your $35 application fee to MBALaunch. There is a non-refundable, non-transferable enrollment fee or program fee once you are admitted to the program. Submitting that gives you immediate access to our cohort, the community, the learning management system, all of the content that's happened already, and will allow you to kind of jump right on in and get started so that you can hit application deadlines, especially if you are hoping to apply in fall of 2026 to start in 2027. Again, if you do have questions, you can reach us at premba@fortefoundation.org or our website. And let me just check one more time. If someone has a master's degree in engineering and want to pursue an MBA with their application gain weight? Oh, good question. It depends on the institution, and it depends on how you tell your story of, why you got that engineering degree, what you've done with it, and what the additional MBA will do or the additional credentials will do for you. It's not uncommon for engineers to be an MBA program. So I think you will find you are with like-minded individuals. My suggestion would be going to, depending on what you want to do with the combination of your engineering experience, your master's in engineering, and your MBA, kind of working through school selection at that point, but also check the class profiles of schools that you're interested in. I think you'll see that there's a good percentage of engineers incoming into the program. So you will definitely not be alone. I don't think having that additional degree necessarily automatically gains you weight or gets you, points in the evaluation process, if you will. I think overall it depends on your holistic package and how you tell your story of where it is that you want to go post MBA. So hopefully that answered your question. But everyone that is here, thank you so much for spending your day with us. Sorry for the technical glitch. Hopefully we covered some things. You will get the recording or jump on my calendar if there's something I can help you with. But I hope you all enjoy what's left of your day and have a great